Hey Wildcats, I'm Colton Johnson.
And I'm Hannah Sizemore, and welcome to Big Blue Banter. We have a packed show for you today.
Two former members of the UK swim and dive team are suing their former head coach and athletic director. They allege years of sexual misconduct from the program's former head coach Lars Jorgensen. Jorgensen took the helm of Kentucky following his predecessor Gary Connolly, who was named as a defendant along with Kentucky athletic director Mitch Barnhart. In the lawsuit, one of the plaintiffs, Briggs Alexander, a former swimmer at Kentucky and coach at Kentucky, alleges that Jorgensen groomed and took advantage of them on multiple occasions during their time in Lexington. The suit states that the price of success was required athletes and employees to submit to Coach Jorgensen's toxic and hostile environment, where female athletes were openly objectified, humiliated, and taunted. In response to the allegations made in the lawsuit, former Kentucky swimmer Riley Gaines took to Twitter to share her thoughts on the situation. She said her former teammates are disgusted, heartbroken, and ashamed to be affiliated with a program where anything like this allegedly could have happened. She said she was completely blindsided by this, but she has never heard or seen any claims of this taking place, of this type of violence, especially sexual violence against women. Jorgensen's lawyer, Chris Anderson, released a statement on behalf of the former swim coach, saying that the lawsuit is a retaliation from Jorgensen supporting Gaines and that the woke NCAA is to blame. The university released a statement regarding the situation, saying that they will cooperate with any and all police investigations into the matter.
A little bit of breaking news here in Lexington. Reed Shepherd has declared for the 2024 NBA Draft. This past Sunday, in a sold-out Rupp Arena, fans welcomed new men's head basketball coach Mark Pope. Pope, a former Wildcat and a 1996 national champion, said in the presser, and I quote, "Our job here, our assignment, is to go win banners in the Final Four, win national championships, and that's our job." With the coaching search over, we reached out to students to see what their feelings were on the new head man.
We're going to need some new recruits for sure. That's going to be tough to get following Cal, but yeah, I think he's going to be overall successful next year.
Maybe Mark Pope is a fresh new start, and he could bring something to the team that wasn't there before. My opinion with Calipari was I thought like he was a terrible coach. He was just a good recruiter, and that's all he did.
Let's take a look at the recruitment trail and roster update under Pope. Earlier this week, DJ Wagner placed his name in the portal. So far, Pope has had one commitment in Colin Chandler, and as it stands right now, Travis Perry is the lone commit for the initial class. This week's two players, Stepanak guard Boogie Flan and Camden wing Billy Richmond, decommitted. As for the current roster, we're left with Jordan Burks. He has not made any official decision. Kentucky is also set to host Drexel's Amari Williams on April 21st and 22nd.
A couple of weeks ago, Kentucky announced the hiring of new head coach Kenny Brooks. Since then, both his roster from the coaches and the player standpoint has grown. On the coaching standpoint, he has hired two former assistants from Virginia Tech, and on the players' side, the Bluegrass has welcomed former Hokies Clara Strack and All-American Georgia Amore, UNC transfer Tiani Key, and international recruits Clara Silva and Tana Becker, who will all join returning players Sanaya Tyler and Cassidy Rowe. A team that may not be getting the same attention as other programs has been dominating this season.
Let's send it over to the timeout corner with Eleanor Bevan, who has more on Kentucky men's tennis.
Thank you, Hannah. The number 4 Kentucky men's tennis team enters the postseason after winning its last 14 matches, including a 12-0 record in conference play to claim the regular season SEC title for the third time in program history. This past weekend, Kentucky defeated number 6 Tennessee 4-3 at home on Senior Day to conclude the regular season. The Senior Day ceremony recognized captains Joshua Lapidat, Taha Body, and Tate Sandman. It was a tight and intense match when SEC Freshman of the Week Jack Lutit clinched the title for the Cats with a singles point. Entering the tournament, players who have had amazing seasons on the team are sophomore Eli Stevenson with a match record of 13-1, sophomore Charlie Cosnet has a record of 16-2, freshman Jack Lutit has a record of 17-5, and sophomore Jaden Weeks has a record of 13-5. The team is set to begin play at the 2024 Southeastern Conference Tournament on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern at the LSU Tennis Complex in Baton Rouge. The top-seeded Wildcats will play the winner of tonight's match between Arkansas and Georgia in Friday's quarterfinal. That's all the tennis news I have for you guys. Let's send it back to Colton and Hannah at the desk with more Kentucky sports news.
Thanks, Eleanor. Coming up, we're going to take a look at your Wildcat baseball team.
And with that, we'll be right back.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving. I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
We have a lot of exciting things going on in Kentucky sports right now, and Kentucky baseball is at the top.
Yeah, Colton, the Batcats are on a hot streak. Let's send it over to the baseball experts Mac Powell and Jack Powell in the timeout corner with a look at the huge weekend series against Tennessee.
Thanks, Colton and Hannah. Kentucky finds himself at number 3 in the country in the new Division I baseball poll this week. The Cats are in shape to host a regional and on pace to host the first super regional in school history if they keep this momentum going.
Kentucky's coach Nick Mingione previews this upcoming week matchup versus Tennessee this weekend.
Our offense is really good. I mean, I think when you look at them statistically, you look at their numbers, whether it's batting average, whether it's doubles, whether it's home runs, they can do a lot of good things. They have some real power, and then their pitchers do a great job of attacking the strike zone. I mean, they are just ramming that ball in there with multiple pitches. So it's exactly what you think of with a team that has that kind of record and those kind of stats and what they've been able to do in recent years.
Number 3 Kentucky hosts number 4 Tennessee this weekend, and it is expected to be the biggest series in college baseball. Tennessee comes in with a 31-6 record and red hot after sweeping defending champs LSU. This is a series that has an Omaha vibe to it, and will be a really fun series.
I'm right there with you, Mac. This series has a different feel to it. For the number 4 Vols, they're number 1 slugging in the nation, number 1 in the nation in home runs, number 2 in the nation in runs, number 4 in the nation in batting average, and they're 10 in ERA. For the Cats, they're number 6 in whips. They're getting it done with the arms. 14 in ERA. Number 8 in the nation in shutouts, and top 20 in stolen bases and stolen bases per game. Mason Moore is 4th in the nation with wins, and he's being 7-0 this series, and he's going to look to do that undefeated record. My prediction is that Kentucky will win this series over the Vols for 3 reasons. Kentucky's arms have kept some of the best teams in the nation in check. Kentucky's the offense has stepped up game after game in the SEC, and of course the dugout energy. The dugout energy is special, and it's a big reason that they're number 3.
Big fan of that pick, Jack. You won't find a more electric dugout than the Cats. I also think Kentucky wins this series, and I think they win 2 out of 3, but if the Cats are able to sweep, that will make them have history for the best start in conference play at 17-1, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, Mac. Well, it's going to be a fun series, and everyone should get out to the ballpark this weekend. Now I'll send it up to Colton and Hannah.
Thanks, Jack and Mac. Up next on Big Blue Banter, lost Super Bowl rings and banned NBA players.
Stick around to hear more about what's going on in the sports world. We'll be right back.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
For most of us, there are no guarantees, no golden tickets,
no easy roads. But at the University of Kentucky, there is a promise to support and inspire you, to reach for what's possible, to lead and create, to heal and discover, as we help solve the world's toughest challenges, transforming lives and improving communities. At the University of Kentucky, we promise to make the possible real.
Welcome back. On Wednesday, the NBA released a statement announcing that Jonte Porter of the Toronto Raptors is receiving a lifetime ban for violating the league's gambling policy. The league said that during their investigation, they found that Porter violated league rules by disclosing confidential information to sports bettors, limiting his own participation in one or more games for betting purposes, and betting on NBA games.
Retired Philadelphia Eagles center Jason Kelce says he lost his Super Bowl ring during a live fan event last week hosted at the University of Cincinnati. The brothers had multiple events, one being where participants dug through a pool of chili to find replicas of Jason's 2018 Super Bowl ring, but the actual ring was also in the pool, and now it's gone. Kelce said multiple people sifted through the pool of chili, they even used a metal detector, and had no luck finding the actual ring. Kelce now has filed an insurance claim, as he said he believes the ring is in a landfill somewhere.
You know, Colton, I'm not so sure that I would dig through a bowl of Skyline chili.
I don't know, it's pretty gross stuff, you know. I'm not a big
Yeah.
fan of it, if I had to say so myself.
Well, that's all of your Big Blue Banter for today. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you again next year. Have a great night.